You got the feed up, Aaron, on your end to be able
Uh,
to see it. Just make sure it's muted because it'll give
I'm on
echo and
YouTube.
feedback. Yeah.
I'm about to pull it up now. Live now. Yeah. All right.
All right, welcome back, and now tune into the other side of sports. I'm your host, Laws, in the building. We got Aaron, we got D rocking out. Later, we got a special guest joining us, my man Cleavon Davis, Cleavon the Visionary, awesome content creator. We got a lot of stuff we're going to talk about. A little bit of football, a little bit of basketball, a little bit of stuff that's going on. For starters, though, it's rioting going on back in Minneapolis, over the death of Dante Wright, 20-year-old black dude, kid. 20 years old? That's young enough. You can kind of deem him as
That's a kid. That's a kid.
He's a kid. Was shot, according to the officer who was responding. So it was a traffic stop. During the traffic stop, I guess Dante tried to get back in the vehicle and speed off. The officers tried to subdue him. One of the officers, being a female, Kim Potter, who's 26-year veteran on the force, says that she went to go grab her taser gun, but grabbed a 9mm Glock and shot Dante Wright and ended up killing him fatally. So the police chief came out in support of the police officer. Wasn't an accident. Wasn't an accident. That's the question everybody wants to know. Did y'all see the video? Y'all think it was an accident?
I'm gonna be honest. Go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Nah, I can't watch it. I haven't seen none of the videos. I ain't seen the George Floyd one. I can't watch that kind of stuff because my brain go in a different direction.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I didn't watch it. I've been looking at the commentary of it, but I didn't watch it because I felt like in just a week span, so much has happened. And you get to your wits end when you're just watching the same thing over and over and over again. Just kind of seeing that stuff. And I didn't watch it. I saw the explanation of the officer. A taser does not have a weight of a weapon, nor do you hold it the same as a weapon. These reasons or reasoning for doing what they do, none of it makes sense. And so they sit here, it's almost insulting to say she thought her taser was her gun. I don't even see how that's possible. And then of course they're gonna say in the heat of the moment and all that stuff, but it's just the minute we do something wrong, it's like we are worthy of our own death, no matter how small or how large that is. And it's just, I have a hard time watching this stuff over and over again, man. It really, because it like Aaron was saying, it kind of changes in the way in which you kind of view things. You start looking at things from a different lens, and then you start to react to that different view. And so I'm not buying the excuse. I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what how they're gonna roll with this story.
So in the video, she yells out, "Taser, taser," and then bucks the Bama with the 9. So the thing is, I don't know enough. Like I would have to actually see the taser, hold the taser, evaluate that whole process versus
nowhere near it's a pistol. A loaded pistol, no way.
Yeah. Come on now.
Yeah.
And she's a seasoned vet. It's not like it's her first day on the job. She's been on the force for a minute.
Yeah.
Doing different training. So it's not like she's a rookie and it was like I didn't know. This is a veteran, man. It just didn't make sense.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you got the George Floyd case going on right now simultaneously at the same time. People are already on tilt with that whole situation. Then you compound that with this, the city on fire.
Bro.
I mean, I don't know what they expect to happen at this point.
Do you think because they just rested the case today, do you think what's going on now affects the verdict?
You're asking the question, do I think that this situation impacts the George Floyd situation?
Right, the verdict in that case, the Derek Chauvin situation.
Nah. If it was the reverse, I would say potentially, but I don't think that these cases are, while in a sense, they both ended up in death and fatality. I think that there could, while I'm not necessarily in agreement with the sentiment that it was accidental, I don't perceive malice intent the same way that I perceive it in the Derek Chauvin, George Floyd situation. Because in that situation, he had ample opportunity to make a different decision and he stayed the course until George Floyd was dead.
Right, but I don't mean necessarily the actions of the police. I mean, like you said, you called it rioting, but unrest is going on in the city right now. And a lot of times when that kind of stuff happens, in white people's eyes, it kind of justifies them feeling like they could treat people like animals. So whereas I was pretty sure they were sacrificing Chauvin for the, so it would avoid something like this. Do you think that this going on now where they like, man, and you got to think about it from a white person's brain, though.
No, it'll be worse. It'll be worse. It'll be worse. If they don't convict Derek Chauvin, dog, I'm gonna move to Minneapolis, dog. had Glocks out and let loose on police precincts and all that, dog. I don't care. There's no way. Dog, there's no way.
Come on, man. Stop, man. Stop.
I feel you, but you can't say it out loud, dog.
Yeah.
Bro, you cannot. This Bama was murdered in cold blood. What are we doing, dog? If there's no semblance of justice in a situation that's that clean, cut, clear, and dry, where everybody from the medical examiner, from the cat lady down the street who walked past the jump, all saying that this Bama murdered him. There's no way that they can renege on that verdict, dog. If you got eyes and a brain, there's no way you can say that he was not murdered, dog. So I just, from a judicial standpoint, it's just not possible, dog. Unless you putting 100,000, 100K in every one of the jurors' bank accounts to get them Bamas to say not guilty, there's no way that you can look at the evidence.
On this planet,
huh?
You must have just landed on this planet.
Bro, I seen some jumps. Listen, when what was the Bama name? David Tyree. When that Bama caught the one-handed jump for the Giants, I ain't see that one coming. When Joe Flacco threw that super bomb all the way in the back of the end zone, 40 yards versus San Francisco after they shut the lights out and tried to do the funny business, I didn't see that coming, dog. Like this stuff, that jump caught me off guard. Like, bro, the Super Bowl with Russell Wilson tried to throw the slant pattern to main man and the jump got picked off by the pick. I ain't see that one coming. Dog, there is absolutely no way that these Bamas can say not guilty on none of these accounts when a Bama clearly was on tape from 70 angles with his knee on his neck for 9 minutes, dog.
But by you saying you can't say that at all with the video with all the different angles, but there's been plenty of video of other instances of this similar type of actions and nothing's been done. So why
it's a different day, dog. It's a different day.
And what
you way? Just told me what I had to censor myself.
We about to see. We about to see. But if stuff don't go the way you say, Harold,
Bro, I'm flipping this joke like a spades table after you lose, dog. I'm going ham in this joke. Whole studio smashed up. I'm breaking the walls. It's gonna be a riot in this jump. They don't get this one right, dog. It's no way they can get this one wrong, dog. It's no way. It's no way. I mean, even to think about it. Now, it would be different if the police, the medical examiner, all these battles was 50-50 split on their testimony. I'd be like, this joint dicey. I don't know. But dog, everyone from the cops to the medical examiner to all the witnesses that were involved in this, they all on one side of this whole demonstration. So I
don't hold your breath, man. Don't hold your breath.
Hope you're right, Harold. You don't want to see the good in everybody. When nobody else has hope, you usually the last one with that 1 hour of hope for anybody. So we hope you're right, dog. But the way I look at it,
hey man, shoot. Hey, look, we live on YouTube. You can go check us out right now. You want to leave comments in there. I'm watching the jump scroll, so you can go ahead and you have comments on some of the topics we're getting into. You want to, share your thoughts, whatever, you can just rock with us. On our question of the day, comes in. It says, recently I moved in with a buddy of mine and he just recently got a girlfriend. Now I'm considering moving out. Am I overthinking this? Long story short, I'm extremely happy for the dude. However, I feel like my privacy has been compromised because of her and her pet. I feel like I've gained 2 more roommates and sometimes can't seem to enjoy my place in private without her being there. How do I effectively and kindly come up with boundaries without ruining my friendship with my actual roommate?
Not possible.
Impossible? All right.
These situations happen all the time, dog. And there's no way you can kind of be the one to seem like you coming in between somebody and the person they date. It's you end up the bad guy all the way up.
Bad my brother to the house, so you already know he getting muyaya on the regular. So you can't, as soon as you try to put your arm in between them and be like, stop, it's gonna be smoking fire and brimstone coming your way, dog.
Right. And the Bama not gonna want to take the onus. Usually people don't have the common sense to come up with another reason. They're gonna be like, it ain't me. This Bama tripping. He don't really want you in here like that. And it's gonna be a situation where she don't like you. You know what I mean? Like
you already know he not gonna say, like, listen, you can't stay here. Like, and then keep it, he gonna put it all on man.
I only see one person ever do that in the history of people, though. Everybody else is gonna be like, man, this Baba don't want you here. You know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna take the onus, dog. So it's no, even though it's not right that you gotta navigate your living space like that, it's no way to guarantee that it's not gonna affect the friendship.
Yeah, nah, agreed. All right, D, you want to chime in on it?
Dog, there's 100% gonna be a problem. It's not even a situation. I've had good friends. You try to tell them about a relationship they in, they don't want to hear it. They cuss you out and everything, bro. I don't care how cool you are, or how close y'all are. The minute you say something about that girl, man, and her dog or cat, whatever she got in there, bro, it's gonna be a problem. And you already know at the end of the day, it's gonna cause a rift, and you're gonna walk in that house with tension. They on the couch watching TV together. They both looking at you funny. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's so tough because you think like, well, maybe if I'm just not here and I just stay away, next thing you know, they're going to use your room, dog. They're going to just take over the whole house.
You shouldn't have to. You got to say something off the rip before they together. Like when he first started hitting the joint and bringing it to the crib, you got to at least drop it.
Bro, I moved in with you, champ. I ain't moving with all of y'all.
You got dogs in this joint shedding fur. You know I'm allergic. You got to do something.
Yeah, you got to just fall out on the ground going convulsions. Be like, yeah, I'm allergic to dogs. Because most youngins going, they not going to stay there and let her dog stay in the kennel or nothing. But she going to go with the dog.
Right. If you wait till she posted him on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, it's too late. It's too late.
It's a fail, dog. Yeah, what can he do? Is there anything he can do?
Leave.
Poison the dog.
Come on, man.
People do that kind of stuff.
Hey, stop it, dog. You can't poison.
This sound like a Lifetime movie when you said that.
Poison Sparky, dog.
That poison food.
Dog, stop it, young. You want to feel bad doing that?
I would have never let the drink get to that point, though.
But you
No,
know,
we know Aaron put the doggy stuff in the trash. When it's time for you to leave, that man put the doggy stuff in the trash. You got to go. You don't care.
and you know stuff like that when it happens, it's never like day one. It's one of them gradual joints that happens. She may come over a couple times, spend the night here and there. Next thing you know, that 1 or 2 nights, spend the night. Now it's a week. Then, you know what I'm saying? Now it's 2 weeks. Now it's a month. Now the dog coming in, the cat or whatever. Then she got roots in the house. She got toothbrushes and deodorant and everything, man. Bruh, that right there, he gotta leave.
And depending on what face it is, the youngin might not be the problem. It could be the dog. You could be like, the dog, like,
yeah, but you
up for this
too much.
But you already know how animals and their owners are attached. They're like a symbiotic relationship. You can't break out one with the other. You can't just say, it's the dog's
with them and everything. They take gas with them, it's out of control, yeah.
Yeah,
one of our listeners said it's definitely going to be an issue. I had somewhat similar situation, and long story short, she ended up coming at me. Dog, see, that's what I'm saying. You say something, they coming at your neck like, what you mean? Like,
right.
You can't box no youngin. You can't. Yeah, that junk all bad, bro. That junk all bad. I'm trying to think of like a little slick little way you can kind of finagle it, but
and I'm gonna tell you, with me being slick I'm not that type of person. I just like to just go head on, just like whatever that problem is, I'm just gonna meet it head on. Hey, look, this ain't working, and then you go from there. And if Bama's is mad, people are mad, and you leave. And the question is, can they still be in that house with you leaving with your income? How's that gonna work?
Just pay, just pay that 1/3 of the utilities and 1/3 of the rent. Just see what happens. Just be like, rent $1,200, just go ahead and put up $4, and just be like, I paid my portion of the rent. I'm like, hold on, dog, we split 50-50. Nah, champ. We got 4 Bamas living in here.
And that's the problem. I'll get
dog food, take it back, put that junk on Craigslist, get some money for it, and pay the dog portion. I don't care. But I'm only giving up.
And I guarantee she's not paying no money on that.
Guaranteed, dog.
So you already know. That's just a fail.
You
said what?
I said she started going home, you charge her. She's not gonna be spending the night 3-4 times out the week.
Right.
They rather go home than to cut that check.
You gotta make them executive decisions. It's hard, but find ways, start looking on Craigslist, see if you can get a little roommate situation, we can get it by today. So on to some sports. We finally here with the sports content. Draymond Green had some comments, and that junk didn't go over too well. He had some comments about the WNBA ladies complaining about unfair conditions and saying that they aren't holding the right people accountable to initiate change for themselves. Is he off on this one?
Can you elucidate on that? What you mean? Who are the right people?
He basically said that there's a lot of people trying to say they support women, they champion women's rights and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, they're not cutting the check or providing the opportunities or platforms in order to grow the game in a sense, or expand the notoriety of the WNBA game. And so Draymond Green was saying, you need to start holding these people accountable who say they support women's sports and put them on blast to get their support in order to do, to get the game, I guess, finances to get an uptick.
The way they do black men, so they say hold everybody else accountable too. Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, in a sense. And he's putting the onus on the women in particular, which I don't agree with at all. Because I alluded to the fact on I was just doing a live and I was just saying that, that's like telling Black people you need to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and just whatever, when they're not providing opportunities for you to do stuff. And for the WNBA, like, there are players who are trying to make inroads to grow the game, grow notoriety around the game, do different things to highlight their stories and stuff like that. But, and I mean, this is just the reality of it, that there isn't a level of support for whatever reason. And it's not the men that are not supporting. It's women who aren't supporting the WNBA. Because if you look at stuff that is successful, Oprah got one of the biggest networks. That Meghan Markle Joan, I wasn't watching that Joan. When youngins support something, the Joan is going to do numbers. That's just the fact.
They don't care about it though.
My point exactly. So I don't think Draymond Green, he didn't really have to say that. He didn't really have to say that.
So I didn't hear it. So I'm just commenting based on what I kind of understand you to be saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the onus is on them for where the product is. So let's start there. But I think there is some truth to, there are people who are responsible who you could very easily call them out the way you do Black men who don't watch the game, that have more to do with why the money isn't being invested. Because the game used to be big. When Lisa Leslie and Rebecca Lobo and
Cooper
and Swoops, who got some of the best shoes that ever came out, you know what I mean? They had big names. They were, it was a lot of advertisements involved in the WNBA. And it just seems like those dollars aren't being put in the same way of making these players household names, of emphasizing, I guess, what the highlights being draws would be to the WNBA. Mm-hmm. And I don't hear those people being called out. So in that aspect, I think he's right, but I just don't see the connection between that necessarily and the onus being on them. To me, what I'm kind of reading in between the lines is he's saying what I'm saying, like, you quick to call us out. How about you call out those other people who are responsible for the bottom line and who own and who are responsible for the marketing and all these things that go into building a brand? Because the NBA wasn't always huge. A lot of these other sports aren't always huge. They have to be grown. Like you see them emphasizing advertising a Jordan or a Kobe or a Tom Brady, just these big name players and household names that they keep putting in front of your face to where people who don't
over and over again. Yeah.
Same with artists. Like, it's a lot of artists who people say the music trash, but if you see it and hear it enough, the music gets stuck in your head. Like that kind of situation. I think in order for the game to grow to the point, I mean, it'll never be what the NBA is, but for it to be at least where the WNBA was back in, was that like the early 2000s? I feel like there are steps that could be taken to grow the game that aren't being taken, and those people aren't being held accountable.
Yeah, and I think, and I agree with you. I feel like earlier on though, it was like the Pentecost of the WNBA, where it was like the influx for them to kind of push to get that brand out there a lot more than what they do now. So it was a little bit different then. And now that it's just kind of been there and it's really been kind of mellowed out. And the base, I don't know what the base was during the time for this, but whatever it was, it seemed to have gone. It's no longer there now. So now they're in a situation where that lack of support. And if the money's not there, then you already know how that's gonna work.
That's the thing. Like, if I'm a YouTube artist or whatever, and I go to Sony or some big name company, and I'm like, yeah, I got great content. Woo, 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 woo. They gonna look at me like, what's your numbers looking like? If my numbers ain't doing nothing, they're not gonna invest in me. They're not gonna say, oh, you know what? We really like this. We just gonna give you $1 million and just let you grow your brand. Like, that's not going to happen.
But to his point, Harold, like, I agree with you there. If we're just talking about like a normal situation, but we're talking about a situation where the WNBA is not self-sustainable. Like, none of these sports are without these athletes being household names and like the play recognition. Like, that has to be grown in kids and stuff like that to the time they grow up. So if the money, you have to make an investment saying, okay, we have a long-term plan, not I'm investing, I expect my money back in 6 months. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And that's not how brands are built long-term. So that's an excuse from their standpoint to be able to say, oh, the numbers just aren't there. You have to build the numbers, and that starts with money.
Agreed. I think we all in the same in alignment with that idea. The thing is too, there's another caveat to it. When I think about like what would grow the game, we've talked about this, like what would grow the game. Now, if you're talking about like equal, first of all, the men's game is not equal to the women's game. And one big distinguishing factor in how it's not equal is the fact that you don't have dunking in this week. Last night, the Bama Miles Bridges killed. He dunked on Clint Capella, and rest in peace to Clint Capella's soul, dog. He finished. The Bama dunked on the back, and that was the thing that everybody was sending around today. Like, if you didn't know who Clint Capella was, or you didn't know who Miles Bridges was, like, you know today because you saw this Bama posterizing. The women's game doesn't even have that as a potential to occur. But best it gets is a cross up, maybe make a youngin' fall, and a step back three in the face.
Did it ever have that? The only woman I saw dunk back in the days when it was popular was Lisa Leslie, and that was on the super fast break cherry pick. And the joint was like one of those
Reggie Miller joints. The Reggie Miller
dunk. High school and did your first dunk, and you barely got over the joint, just touched the rim. Like it was like that. So I think you got to understand that the games are different, and it's okay for them to be different. But you have to focus on what is exciting about this game, and stop trying to like make an equal like we just going to take the NBA blueprint and bring it over here. It doesn't transfer. And I think it's just lazy to think that you can just, not from your standpoint, but
you can't lower the rim and for the WNBA and make it more exciting for the women. I think if you lower the rim and Slim is dunking on her counterpart, just like that Miles Bridges jump go all around the internet and brings notoriety to the game. That way, you mean to tell me that wouldn't bring notoriety? I think it would.
But was that they dunked in 3 years. So it's, I mean, I get saying it's not going to hurt the game, but at the same time, they are being lazy by trying to just say we just going to take this blueprint that we had. Like we saw where it worked, so they can't be lazy and say it's no way for people to watch WNBA basketball. You just got to go and make these people known, make them celebrities, and that starts with college and a lot of other things. Endorsements, putting their faces the same place you would see NBA players' faces. Because nobody wants to watch. You could go watch a rec league joint. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to watch Bamas. They don't know play basketball.
Period.
I hear y'all, man. I hear y'all. We gonna see. We got special guests in the building. Cleavon Davis, Cleavon the visionary, the hottest man on IG right now with the content cooking. My mentor, dude I look up to from a social media space. What's up, bro? What's good?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Cooling, bro. Well, you heard a little bit of the conversation. We talking about WNBA. Draymond Green made some comments in regards to the women's game, and we didn't agree with that, but we were talking about what could be done to like help push the game forward. You got any comments or any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about this for a little while. I was talking to who was I talking to about this? I don't remember, but I was telling them I don't really watch the WNBA like that. I do watch college women's for some reason. College women's basketball is more entertaining to me than WNBA. I'm not really sure why. It's close to the same, but I'd heard the whole low on the rim. I think T-Mac might have said it like on the jump or something like that, and he was like getting roasted or something when he mentioned, like if you lower the rim, it might be more exciting, and lots of women didn't like that. So I guess it's the whole equity versus equality situation. Where it's like, okay, do you want the game to be equal or do you want the game to be equal? Like, I don't even know how to say it. Like, because it's just facts. It's biological fact that women players aren't as tall as men players. They're not as athletic as men players. So like, how do you want to go about this? Do you want equality as far as the same guidelines or regulations, or do you want equity as in it's the same type of situation,
Yeah,
like
situation,
product or right, exactly. So I think that's something that the WNBA has to figure out for itself for real. Not like forget the fans, forget what
Mhm.
we want. Like, what do you guys want to be known for? Type of situation. So I'll leave that to them, but I think there does have to be a lot like so I didn't see the name on there. The brother was talking about how like the exposure needs to be the same. Like I feel like that would help a lot too. Like if people knew who the players were, not just the very few that people know because of some type of brand deal or some like where it's not even like basketball related. It's like they got some type of eyelash glue or something like that. I don't know that they're using and people know who they are. I think that would help the game a lot because if people knew who the players were, you can attach to the game more. I guess you could go to see somebody because basketball is one of those sports where you watch to see the players. You don't necessarily watch to see the game all the time. So yeah, but that's
agreed. We can talk about you for a little bit before we get into some of these other topics. So for those who don't know, this dude is a phenomenal content creator. He creates content. A lot of it is hilarious. And it's family friendly too. We try to be a family friendly. So sometimes we teeter and totter right there on the edge. But we just try to keep it all the way 100. But his content is great. Like I can laugh at it. I can show it to my niece. I can show it to my daughter. Like everybody can appreciate the content. What kind of, how did you get these ideas to like start doing this? And when did you say, oh, I'm gonna just try to like do these videos? Like what was going on at that time when you started thinking you were going to do that?
Well, I appreciate the compliments. First of all, I just make videos for real. Like the fact that they're reaching people and people enjoy them is a great byproduct. So I appreciate that. I started doing this I tell people this all the time because people say, oh, how'd you're blowing up or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a little bit more recognition now, but like I was doing these types of videos before there was social media. Like I was the only child at home, so I had to find ways to entertain myself. And like the same stuff that you see like lots of people are doing now because of tech phones and technology where they could play like multiple characters and stuff like that. Stuff that you only used to see like on Martin and Family Matters instead of playing multiple characters or Eddie Murphy or whatever. I was doing that like with my JVC like recorder camera at home by myself when I was just by myself. I had nothing to do. My parents didn't buy me video games like that. So I was just making little videos, little skits of myself, playing basketball against myself on a hoop on my door, like all that kind of stuff. So I've been doing like this for like a while now that I think about it. So the creative ideas have always been there. It's not like I just woke up one day and was like, I want to start making funny videos on social media. But also I didn't necessarily start releasing like funny stuff because I'm not like a funny guy. Like it's really funny hearing people that don't know me already who follow me because I make the content. They think I'm a comedian, like for real.
Dog, you are a comedian, dog.
And I'm like, nah, like I'm not a comedian. Like I just like making funny videos. But the fact that you can be everyone has these talents that they're kind of like they have them, but they don't necessarily show them to the world or whatever it is. And the fact that if you have the confidence to say like, you know what, I'm just gonna put this out there. Like you might find some type of little niche that you can excel in. That's what's happening for me. Like I'm a Christian, and I want to have that come through all the stuff that I do. Leading people to Jesus. So making that family friendly stuff that you said, or even stuff that is kind of like biblical or whatever, and making it funny is like, okay, I could just merge the two. I like laughing. I like, making creative stuff. And then I get to do this piece, leading people to God as well, or opening them up to it rather. And it's been great. I have fun doing it.
Oh, that's what's up, though. I'll say, as a fellow Christian, that was one of the things that kind of drew me to the video. Cause I think it's kind of crazy because I do Christian rap. I do a lot of when you put the Christian tag, people just automatically like, oh, that junk corny. Get this bum out of here. Like, I'm not trying to see. Like, what do you do? You do video. These junks probably whack. These junks trash. You know what I'm saying? You always it's like this negative connotation cloud just follows you, and I can even say myself, like, if somebody says, oh, I do this, and they say they're a Christian, like, I'm like, I even have the little hesitation to kind of just be open to it. But I can honestly say, like, your stuff is A1, though. Like, it really, the message comes through, but it's not like I'm Christian. Oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't like choking Bama's out. It's just like, this is who I am. It's authentic. And I think when you're doing any kind of content creation, whatever, it has to be authentic. That's what resonates with people. And for me, your content resonates with me, not just because it's Christian, but because it feels authentic to who you are. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even know you like that. But as I'm learning who you are, I'm like, oh, this is how he is. So that's why I was like, when you say you're not a comedian, I'm like, dog, you're funny, bro. You're funny.
Well, like, I appreciate it. Like, and it's cool to be a multifaceted person. People that know me, like, I'm a deep thinker. Like, I can get real, like, philosophical, probably too much, to be honest. But just for people to see that I could also be just as lighthearted and goofy, it's kind of cool that I know I could do both and still be fully myself. And that opens people up to, so like, if I'm having a serious moment where I'm like, yo, get this word, like, this is what it's talking about right here, this could change your life. The fact that I was able to make them laugh a video earlier, it opens them up to, all right, let me hear what this guy has to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, the person has to like you first if they're going to listen to you. And the comedy is just like, it doesn't even have to be like, some of my most viral videos aren't really even like Christian or whatever, like, they're clean, but people follow that video, they're like, man, okay, let me check out his profile. And they see the other videos that are Christian, that do point directly to God, and it's like, well, this guy's funny, so I'm gonna follow him. Type of situation. Where if I was just like, Jesus, they'd be like, I'm not following this. I was about to say it wrong word, but I'm not gonna follow this guy because I'm not about that. So it's cool. It's a heart opener for real.
Yeah, nah, that's the fact. I mean, I know as we're talking, people who are listening to the show, they were like, where can I find? Let me see his video. I want to see a video, because as we're talking about, I'm sure people are like, I want to see a video. I want to see if this guy's really funny or whatever. So you know how people are, but so you can tell people, you can be an Instagram tag, and let them know where they can find your content at.
Yeah, they could find me on Instagram at Cleavon, CLEAVON_Davis. And I'm on TikTok at Clee, CLEE, the Visionary. That's where I post most of my videos.
Yeah. Nah, good stuff, though. Hey, shout out to you, bro. You got me on the TikTok now. I'm on that jump thriving, bro. I'm like 500 followers in one day, dog. I'm on the
bro. What I tell you
on TikTok, dog.
What I tell you, bro, like
TikTok. Oh, I'm trying to get out the hood, dog. Listen, you put me on. I gotta give you credit where credit is due, because I would have never got on there. Dog. But I see that you can generate traffic. If you have content, it's a way. So definitely shout out to you for that. I mean, if you want to stick around, you can stick around. We're going to get into some other topics. You want to chop it up with us. If you do have to go, I mean, we understand that too. It's on you.
Yeah, I'll hang around for a little while longer. I might have to bounce soon.
Okay. All right, bet. So let's get on to our next topic, the Washington football team. Oh, yeah, we love to talk about those dudes. They have been rumored to be eyeing North Dakota State's Trey Lance. Will it happen? Aaron, what you gonna do? You back with us?
So how are they going to get? What's the capital to be able to move up to get him? Because you're not going to get him in 19.
You're not gonna get him in 19. I'm thinking they're gonna swap first and maybe give up, maybe swap first a 4th and a 2 next year.
You got to give up another one at least to move from 19 to a point where you can get in.
Where you gotta be at to get him? What pick you think you gotta be? 5?
Top 7 at least.
Top 7 to get Trey Lance.
It's
Okay.
that pick that Atlanta has, because they're saying they're not taking a quarterback, might be where you have to trade up to, which is 4. How you get from 19 to 4, we talking at least 2 ones outside of this year.
Okay. So that's a lot of draft capital you gotta give up. That's what you're telling me.
For a black quarterback in Washington, D.C.
If they do it,
Is that a recipe for disaster or no?
we've been there, though. Can they do it though? That's the question. Can they do it?
They won a division, so Ron can pretty much do what he wants to do. He got a little carte blanche for probably 2 years to do whatever he wants, but it better work because you know how this media is in this city. They're going to have to babysit that boy. Like, they're going to have to hide him the first year.
Can you hide them?
Are they capable of hiding him for a
That's what
whole
I'm
year?
saying. Can they do that?
That depends on Fitz. Are you getting the magic or the tragedy? Which one you getting?
Oh, bro, that jump just seems like a steep price to pay. But okay, you get your quarterback for the next. Is that the quarterback of the future?
It
It
has
would have to be.
2-1.
Yeah. I mean, you
To not start him?
I don't think you start him this year anyway. He's only played a year. He sat out all of last year. Remember, they played that first game and then their season was over. So he played 1 game last year. He had a ridiculous season before that where he had like no interceptions the whole season. So that's basically what they're banking the evaluation on.
I think he's better than what we got in the building right now if you bring him in.
mm-mm. Because now he's always looking over his shoulder for that first mistake, and then people are like put in Fitzpatrick. To me, it's better starting Fitzpatrick in that situation.
Oh, we gonna keep 4 quarterbacks? You got Heineke,
Uh-huh.
you got Fitzpatrick. What's the other
Yeah.
dude name?
Allen?
Get out of here.
Allen.
Allen gone, man. If that's the case, Allen is gone.
Who was out?
Yeah, I don't know. Cleveland,
Allen?
what you think?
Hey, bro, I don't even know. I'm not even. I'm not gonna. I don't speak on things I don't study.
No, I don't know how they going to pull it off. You got to give up 2 ones. You're right. That's a blow.
Minimum.
Because then it just raises the stakes and the pressure to a level where it's so difficult for how are you going to make these like this town? You know how this town act.
But that defense,
Quarterback-
if you can let him
Defense.
redshirt a year and get to the point where he's at least not looking like a scrub when he gets on the field, where you can see the promise. He has the physical tools. He has legs, which the last one didn't have. So, I mean, to me, he's the 3rd best quarterback in the draft. If you can get the 3rd best quarterback in the draft to go with the defense that they have, as long as you take care of him, I think it could work. And I will come back to answer your question. I'm back.
He got excited about that. That's the
Yo, you back?
I trashed that gear I bought like 2 years ago when I came back last time. So I don't get some more gear if they snatch him up.
If they get him, I'm gonna be sized though. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm gonna be sized.
I'm a hate. I ain't gonna lie to you right now. I'm a hate so good too.
You
I
got
mean,
to.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna be congratulatory for you guys if you got him. I wouldn't. Not at all. Not even an ounce of congratulations. I'm like, yeah, But it's Washington. We'll see what y'all do if y'all were to get him. Based on the situation. But I think you have to start Fitzpatrick. Let him do his thing. Because the thing people forget about Fitzpatrick is he's a good off the bench quarterback. But the minute he's the guy, I felt like at that point, that's where he starts to do things like throw multiple interceptions in a game. Yeah, it's not the same. And in a half. So didn't he throw 6 in one game? Was it 6?
Yeah, in a half.
In a half.
In the city. Remember, Jesse?
That was like throw up tackle. He was just tossing them up there. So I mean, that's the thing people forget. People get caught up and enamored with the plays that he does make, and when he comes back, but that's when he's the backup. he's not the guy in those situations. So
Yeah.
you know, that's the part of it. And I think if you build it up that way, where people are tired of a particular quarterback, and you just drafted one, they'll be calling for the one that was just drafted. It would be more
Mhm.
with the open arms with him to play in the team, as opposed to him starting and going through the growing pains of that, and you know, Washington being Washington,
It
and them just kind of getting him out of there.
so I'll say this before we move on to the next subject. It's going to be interesting if they were to pull this off and it would get Trey Lance on the team. It's going to be interesting to hear how that move is received by the radio personalities that now exist in the spaces that they exist. Because I think for the longest we've had a radio like crop that have been anti-black and anti-black QB in this town. And I think, and I feel like that shifted some. So it'll be interesting to see how people receive that if that takes place. I don't mean, I still think it's kind of a little far-fetched, but it'll just be interesting to see.
What happened to that other quarterback y'all was loving on to like a month ago before y'all got Fitzpatrick?
Heineke?
That's paid, yeah.
Oh, them Bama's turned on that Bama quick, though. Heineke, he might as well just quit and finish school, dog, if he ain't already finished.
He's 27. The Bama been done.
Yeah, he done, dog. He need to go in doctorate program or something because it's over for the man. QB double standard. Why is Justin Fields getting so much criticism while the other quarterbacks in his class of a different hue, you don't hear not a peep?
You got to warn the guests when you having topics like this. Come on the air. You can't just drop these on them.
Dog, we in the thick of things, dog. We trying to get to the get down. We trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, that's why we exist, because of the double standard. Actually, we've thrived because of the double standard. But I'm trying to figure out in 2021, why is it still here?
I think there are certain talking points that are very easy to accept and that are very believable when it comes to Black quarterbacks, particularly after you see what just happened with Dwayne Haskins that came out of the same school and the same offense. Mm-hmm. If they use the same exact lines that they were using for Dwayne Haskins, it's really easy for people to accept those and just be like, oh, it must be true. If, you know what I mean? If they're saying it must be true. I've seen it 1,000 times. That's just the way people's brains work. And so what I believe is because one of these coaches has moved up to get a quarterback that nobody thinks is a top talent, I feel like there has to be some justification to go along with that. And I feel like, to me, these sound like purposeful leaks from somebody. I don't know what the agenda is. That's what I suspect it is. But like you said, it's just illogical for somebody to be the number 2 quarterback all year long. While football's being played, he's the number 2 quarterback. But then the second game stopped being played. All of a sudden, he starts to slide down the draft board. That just doesn't make sense to me if it's just about football.
No, but it can't be about character, because the Bama character A1. Then it can't be intelligence, because word on the street, if you want to listen to Mark Sanchez and what he had to say, Justin Fields scored the highest on the psychological evaluation test ever. So I'm confused, dog. I just don't.
Right. And he outlined, Sanchez outlined, you know, like Pat Mahomes score, all the top quarterback scores and how much higher his score was compared to those. And just saying, with a guy with that type of football IQ, you can put him in any offense or any situation. He will learn that playbook so much faster because of that. It's almost like he has some sort of a photographic memory Yeah, to an extent. And so
How do you diminish that? Like, how do you talk about intelligence with somebody with a photographic memory? Don't them Bama skip school back in like that joint's like that's like a superhero power on earth, dog. When you got the photographic. My sister actually had it. Shout out to my sister. She had a photographic memory. She graduated high school at 16, dog. That joint sizes you. I don't know how that could. Yeah, no, it's beyond me, bro. It is beyond me. And then you have to add to that, is the Kelly Mond talk about him moving up the draft board? Is that the reverse? Because I watched this game tape. He looked real sussy to me, dog. He was locking on receiver.
Who does he play for?
Is it Texas A&M?
Yeah. See, go ahead.
No, somebody said Bama look flag football.
He do.
Might have been somebody else. His throwing motion is just weird. It looks like a rec league type throwing motion, but he's surging up. They talking about the Patriots trying to go after him. Is it the smoke screen?
It's the smoke screen, dog. I just don't see it in his game.
You see it in Mac Jones' game?
I don't either.
What does that matter?
I mean, yeah. Well, in other news for the college game, before we get on to our quick hitter with the NBA, Trevor Lawrence got the playbook already from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Is they breaking the code? Is this uncharted territory? Dog, I never heard of the quarterback that they were going to draft get the playbook before the draft even happened. Is that legal?
That's a good question.
Because even if they pay the fine and give up a draft pick, to have your rookie quarterback, who obviously is going to start this year, getting ahead of the curve, I think it's borderline genius. You just raise his level of success so much more than everybody else.
You put him in year 2 off break. Dog, I guess that's a perk to getting the number 1 draft. I don't know why somebody hasn't done this before.
I mean, it's possible it's happened before. You just didn't hear people leaking it out because it sounds a little bit like it might be against the rules. Definitely a competitive advantage because at 2, I mean, you're pretty sure that they're going to take Lawrence, but you don't know what happens. So picks 2, 3, and 4, you don't 100% know who you're going to get. So
you can't get about him in the playbook. Nah. Dang, dog, that is a competitive advantage for sure. For sure. Because you got to think, let's say once you realize you get a number 1 pick, I don't know how soon they gave him the playbook or when they gave him the playbook, but essentially after the Super Bowl, can you give it to the Bama that early?
But there's still college games going on around that time. Because the college bowl games happen after the Super Bowl.
So you still gotta wait a few weeks. You still gotta wait a few weeks.
I don't know.
But even if when is that in? January?
January, February.
So February, you have from February all the way to August to learn a playbook. That helps. That helps for sure. That's a fact.
And if he comes out cooking this year, they're gonna say, "Oh, he had the playbook early. He was in the playbook. He knew the offense." That's just gonna be the protocol going forward.
Dog, he gonna be cooking though. You already know he gonna cook. I guess it's a perfect time to plug the draft show we got coming up April 29th with Jeremy Johns, a Collabo Sports Reality, OSS 980, Other Side of Sports Collabo. It's gonna be live. Yeah, we're gonna have analysis. Please tune into the show. I mean, it's gonna be for playback, but all those haters, people, oh, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Check the tapes. Check the tapes. We've done evaluations for 6 years now. We don't have it's very few misses. Very few misses. Shout out to my man Justin. He actually went back and was like, because I was like, "Young, check the tape." So he went back and checked the tape. And he started bringing up stuff that I had forgot about that we hit on. So I'm just saying, this one, definitely tune in. It's going to be a lot of people with a lot to say. and we're gonna be there for it. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Migs? What's good, bro? All right. You Cleveland, you be in the basketball though. You watch the basketball heavy, right?
Yeah,
Okay, bet. Curry 53 points. What's up? Is
bro.
he the best in the league?
Sitting at home for the playoffs, best in the league.
Yeah,
He's
that's
the
a
greatest
great feat though. That's a great
shooter of our lifetime, though.
Facts. Ever. Lifetime.
No, the Bama was on fire last night. This Bama was he looked like old Steph. Like he was playing, dribbling through his legs, step back three. Oh, he was his own one. And sad news, Jamal Murray suffered a season-ending knee injury. Now, I saw the play when it happened, and a commentator, this man was like, you saw his leg give out right there. It didn't really look like his leg gave out to me. It looked weird. So I mean, of course the knee injury is real, but the way he just did a Euro step, and it was like a half Euro, and the jump, and his leg just went out, and then he was just on the ground, like holding his leg. Finished. Definitely a sad. I mean, does this hurt the Nuggets' chances of getting to the finals? No. Yes.
I definitely think so. I mean, that Jamal play. I guess they call it playoff Rondo. They might start calling it playoff Murray or whatever, because he snapped last year.
He went fuego.
Yeah. So, and I mean, he has his ebbs and flows with his game and everything, but he's still a consistent, second option for them. So somebody gonna have to step up, either Michael Porter or Joker about just go.
Michael Porter Josh Seist on the low, dog. He one of them type hating type dudes.
Yeah,
who
bro.
Want when he saw, I mean, it's just something about him, because the Bama been cooking lately, and Jamal Murray's been off and on, playing some games, sitting out, boom, boom, and Porter's minutes, and he wanted to be the dude. Last year when they were running a play at the end of a game, they scripted it. Mike Malone scripted it for Jamal Murray. It was Jamal Murray and Jokic. That was it. Nobody else was allowed to take the shot. And you could see Michael Porter, his face was man, he didn't say these Bama sorry or they not as good as me. He didn't say it, but the way he looked, his facial expression and the dejection just made it seem like he wasn't happy about the play that was called in the timeout. Then it came out. I can't remember if they won or not, but he just Seist that the Bama Murray is hurt. So now he can kind of be the man, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see his trajectory of his career, because I was thinking the same thing. I mean, I've been watching this dude since he was in high school, so I've felt the same way almost his whole journey to the league, and now he's with the. I always thought he was good, but I just felt like either he just always cites himself and everybody just went with it, or it was just hype. And he's a good offensive player. But when you're just a good offensive player, liability on defense, and you got not a learning mentality, you got a already got it mentality, that's short-lived, man. That's not how you have longevity in the league, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he got the physical tools, the Bama got the height, he can
He got it. But you gotta have that mindset. That's only gonna go so far. And like you said, he even said in the interview, a press conference joint, he was like, oh yeah, we gotta, what did he say? Basically kind of the same sentiments as you were saying. It was yeah, we gotta write up, better plays. We gotta have the people who need the ball need to get the ball, whatever. And it was a whole thing, because they were like, yo, this is a rookie. If a rookie said this, yo, we gonna see him at the bus. It was crazy, but I'm oh, he's we'll see.
Yeah, for sure. I guess we can say a prayer for Clint Capella, because that Bama got yammed on, bro. First of all, that jump with Clint Capella, he blocked the first jump that I think like Terry Rozier tried to put up. He blocked that jump, and then it went out to the top of the key. And Miles Bridges, like, he just drove straight down the lane. And when his hand was back here, I was like, "Hey, I hope nobody around. Get out the way. Get out the way." This Bama Clint Capella, bro.
Yeah.
Try to put his
it happens. Like all those rim protectors, you gotta sign a waiver because, yeah, bro. That's definitely either dunk of the year or second best dunk of the year for me.
I had to go back and watch the Anthony Edwards jump. Bro, that jump was more nasty because he sat on him after he dunked it. He like dunked it and like fell over, like he just sat on that Bama. I was So I mean, this jump definitely is 1 and 2 for sure. Jones is definitely 1 and 2. But the Clint Capella, dog. Yeah, you got to. But you saw how fast that Bama took the ball out. Them Bama took the ball out in record time. You got dunked on. That Bama got the ball through there, jumping down so quick. I said, there you go. But the cameras and the internet don't ever forget, dog. It won't let you slide. Won't let you slide. Wizards, they get a rare win versus the Jazz. Dog. First of all, I don't know how the Wizards won because the Jazz had 2 Bama score 40 points. Like, the Bama was, what do you call Bogdanovich? He must have been blown of how we did him because this Bama went ham on us. And then Donovan Mitchell went ham too. But somehow, some way, Bradley Beal and his 34 points was enough. So I don't know. I might pretty much through with the Wizards though. But Aaron, you can't say the trade was bad because John Wall and them Bama's is struggling, dog, over at Houston.
It's not, y'all are 13 games under 500. There's nothing you can say about this trade.
Yeah, the Rockets got the worst record of the league, though.
They have a worse roster than the Wizards do. They were 13 games under 500 with John Wall and Bradley Beal ever in the years that they played together. That's crazy.
The Rockets about to forfeit the season. This is about to be the worst season they had in 20 years, dog.
It's bad.
So what award do the Wizards get for missing the playoffs by 5 or 6 games versus?
They don't get no reward. I already said I'm gonna square up when I see Tommy Shepard. I mean, we already know. And then Scott Brooks, he already on my hit list. But it ain't worse than the Houston Rockets, though, dog.
But that's never part of the equation. I said this would be. Has the trade been successful? Is the question. Yes or no?
It was not unsuccessful.
These Babs is 13 games under 500, about to miss the playoffs with a superstar, and what y'all say, Bradley Beal is a star, and probably the best complementary talent they've had since what? Gil was here.
I like Gafford. He's been okay. Bertans, when he's on, he's on. But that Bama's streaky. Hashimura, he got moments. Some days he be super aggressive, and I'm like, okay. And then other moments, I'll be like, bro, Denny Avdia, that Bama will play one game and play 3 games for 40 minutes, and you don't even know the Bama's on the court. So I don't like. Then
that's the only point I ever made. I didn't think they got better, and the record suggests they didn't.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, regardless of what Houston does, that's irrelevant to me.
I'm just saying, like, if John Wall was here, we still have similar. If John Wall was here, the record would be either the same or 1 or 2 games difference.
But that's convenient of y'all to say now. When the trade happened, y'all told me they got better. And we're talking about competing for like the 4 seed or the 5 seed. Minimum. Right. That was the minimum.
Whoa,
it's-
I would never say that.
I did.
Now,
I did, though.
and
I
be
did,
like,
yeah.
oh, we gotta say that Houston. That's like deflection.
Hey,
The
look.
team is trash.
Hey, listen, man. I admit my wrongs, though. I thought the Bama's had enough. I thought Russ was enough. In the
No, they
East,
need a coach. That's what they need.
yeah, they
From the
do,
jump,
though.
the worst coach in the league is Scott.
Oh my gosh, man.
The worst.
That's
Yeah.
that's like if they had a better coach. I'm not saying they know forward. No, I'm not saying all that, but
You should
At
have heard these dudes on here when they made the trade.
now you wilding, bro.
I was psyched, though. I was psyched. But now I'm ready to throw a tomato at all that whole roster. Throw a tomato right at Scott Brooks' head, though. If they let me in another game and he's still on the sideline coaching, I'm gonna bring a tomato with me.
Is Jeff still paying bets? We gonna talk about them Warriors missing the
Yo.
playoffs? Hey Jeff, you out there? You still listen? You gonna pay me for the Warriors missing the playoffs too?
Yo,
Let me know
Yo.
what we got going on now.
yo, the Warriors did. Them Bama's is sorry too. How the Warriors sorry though?
When y'all gonna stop betting against me, dog, for this trip?
I thought with Oubre, I thought they was bringing in a young kid, 7-footer, athletic, Draymond. You know, they got Kent Bazemore. They got a little roster.
Without Clay, it's a different story, though.
Yeah, without Clay, it's Wiseman got hurt the other day too, didn't
Yeah, he been in and out. First of all, when the Bama been playing, I'm like, dog, you're bigger than everybody. You should dunk everything. He got a little bit of like what's the Bama that used to play with the Cavaliers when they won the chip? Tristan Thompson. He got a little bit of Tristan Thompson in him, dog. Like where he just like you got to slander him for him to like put forth the real effort. Like I don't like he needs Draymond to be like lighting the fire up under him to make him like play to a higher level because he just be looking real regular. I'm like, dog, why is Looney starting over you? That should be disrespectful to you.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
Looney, they rather play Looney over you. I like, what does that say about your game, dog? Like, yeah, you know, so I don't know. Wizards, man, yeah, I'm done, dog. I'm done. My blood pressure keep going up, so I can't even really. Yeah, I can't watch it, but yeah, that's all I got today, young. I mean, that's all we got for the show, pretty much. Thank you to our guest, Cleavon. Appreciate you, man, coming through and chopping it up with us. Oh, just to let y'all know, hey, listen, bro. I came home today and my baby girl, dog, her doodoo smell like a grown man, dog. She eating hard food. I said, young, what in the world? Dog, I went upstairs and was like, young, what the heck happened to this child? Dog, she eating hard. She eating food now, dog. I mean, I'm all psyched for the growth, you know, the young one, but I'm just saying, like that junk out of control,
nice.
bro.
That's funny. Hey, thank you for bringing me on. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man. I've been recommending your videos all around town. I actually like put your name in a couple of hats for some stuff. So people may be reaching out to you about different opportunities and stuff like that. Cause I feel like your content is stuff that the world need to hear. People need to see. You know, I know you're already like on that viral chain, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm just all about promoting stuff that is positive, that's good, you know, that I can stand behind and represents the values and stuff that I hold myself. So for sure.
Man, I appreciate that so much, man. I try to support all my people that are doing creative stuff. So you as well, man. Like we all are doing our own thing, trying to bring positivity, trying to bring some type of substance to the world, bro. So
Yeah.
any way I can support you, let me know.
Appreciate it, dog. We'll definitely have to get you on here again. Shout out the Where's Buffy podcast. Shout out to Kicking It with G-Man, Lance J Radio, Free Agent Radio. Shout out to Sports Talk Tasha. Shout out to Jenna Garcia. Shout out to I think that's all, yeah. And we out.